A mother's unconditional love. My name is Doris. I am 32 years old. I live with my mother in a small village. My father died when I was very small. I do not remember his face. I grew up only with my mother, who is blind. She was the only parent I had, but I never treated her with love. Instead, I hated her blindness. I hated her simple clothes, her weak steps, her tired face. I hated the way she called my name outside my school, holding a small lunchbox in her hands. At school, I saw other children's parents. They were rich. They wore nice clothes. They came in cars carrying expensive lunches. They talked proudly with teachers. Their children looked so happy. And then there was my mother, blind and poor. She would walk slowly, holding my food tightly so it would not fall. Every time she came, I felt ashamed. I ran to her quickly, took the lunch from her hands, and said angrily, "Don't come to my school again. You embarrass me. You don't look good." She never answered me back. She just lowered her head. I could see tears in her eyes, but I did not feel sorry. I told myself she deserved it. Why can't she be like other mothers? Why can't I have a mother who looks normal? As the years passed, my hatred grew. One evening, I asked my mother for a glass of water. She walked slowly toward the kitchen, her hands feeling the wall to guide her. Suddenly, she hit her shoulder against the wall. The glass almost slipped from her hand. I laughed loudly. Instead of helping her, I mocked her. She said nothing. She just quietly gave me the water. Looking back now, I see how cruel I was. But at that time, I felt no guilt. When I finished school, I wanted more. I wanted a better life. I wanted money, love, and respect. And then I met Henry. Henry was rich, handsome, and kind. He worked in the city. He gave me a job in his company. Henry bought me gifts and told me I was beautiful. For the first time, I felt important. He made me feel special. I fell in love with him. Soon, Henry proposed to me. My heart was so happy. I believed my life was finally perfect. On my wedding day, I left my house. I packed all my things. I did not tell my mother. I did not even look at her face. I told myself, she cannot give me anything. She is poor. She is blind. Henry can give me everything. He is my future. I walked away without saying goodbye. Life in the city was full of happiness. I lived with Henry in his big house. He loved me, cared for me, and gave me everything I had once dreamed of. Soon I got pregnant. When my son was born, my heart melted. He was so small, so innocent. His tiny hands held my finger, and I cried with joy. Sometimes I thought about my mother. I wondered if she was eating well. I wondered if she was lonely. But I pushed the thoughts away. I told myself she could never give me this happiness. Leaving her was the right choice. One afternoon, I got a phone call. It was an old friend from my village. Her voice was heavy and sad. She said, "Doris, your mother has died." My heart stopped. I held the phone tightly. At first, I thought I will not go. She was nothing to me. But then another thought came. She was still my mother. Maybe I should go, at least for the last time. So I went back to my village. Nothing had changed much. The same roads, the same old houses. I went to my mother's funeral. People looked at me, some with sadness, some with judgment. I stood there as they buried her. My eyes were dry. My heart was hard. After the funeral, I walked to my old house. The door creaked as I opened it. The rooms were dark and empty. I could almost hear her voice calling me. Her soft voice asking me if I was hungry. Her weak hand searching for things in the dark. Her tears when I shouted at her. Her silence when I rejected her. I shook my head. I thought, this house is full of pain. I will sell it. I don't want to remember any of this. As I was leaving, an old woman called me. She was our neighbors. She said, Taurus, do you know what your mother did for you? I laughed. I said, what could a blind woman do for me? Her face grew sad. She said, you are foolish. The eyes you see the world with, they are not yours. They are your mother's. I froze. My lips trembled. I said, what do you mean? And then she told me the truth. She said, when you were 3 or 4 years old, you were playing near the river with my daughter. You ran on the sand and fell. Sand filled your eyes. You cried so loudly. We ran to you, but when we reached, we saw blood in your eyes. We rushed you to the hospital. The doctor checked you. His face was serious. He said your eyes were badly damaged. He said you would be blind for the rest of your life. Your mother cried like her heart was breaking. She begged the doctor. She begged God. Then she did the unthinkable. She told the doctor, take my eyes. Give them to my daughter. I don't care if I live in darkness. I only want my child to see the world. The doctor warned her. He said, if you give your eyes, you will never see again. How will you take care of your child? But she shook her head. She said, I will manage. I will do everything blind, but my daughter must see. She must live a normal life. And so she gave her eyes. That is why you can see today, Doris, because she gave you her sight. The world stopped. I could not breathe. My eyes were full of tears. All this time, I hated her. I insulted her. And yet, she gave me her eyes. The old woman said, even in her last days, she was sick. I told her to call you, but she refused. She said, my daughter is happy in the city. She has a good husband. I will not disturb her happiness. And then, she died with love for you in her heart. I could not hold myself anymore. I ran to her grave. I fell to my knees. I pressed my face to the soil. I said, why, Mother?
Why?
Why didn't you tell me? If you had told me, I would never have hated you. Why did you hide this from me? Why did you let me hate you? I stayed there for hours crying, begging, screaming like a mad woman, but nothing could change. She was gone, and I had lost my chance to love her. When I finally stood up, my heart was heavy with guilt. I decided not to sell our house. I would keep it. It was not just a house. It was her last gift to me. I returned to the city where my husband and son waited, but I was not the same woman anymore. Every time I looked in the mirror, I saw her. Every time I saw my son's innocent eyes, I remembered her sacrifice. I visit her grave often now. I talk to her. I tell her about my son, about my life. I hope she can hear me. Maybe love never dies, because the truth is this. My eyes may see the world, but they are not mine. They are hers, and I will never forget that. If you like this story, please like, comment, share, and subscribe.